Alright, welcome people back to the channel. Today we're finally gonna do the housing replacement on an iPhone 12 that I had promised a couple weeks ago. So if you have watched the previous video, we have a bit of a bent housing right here from my iPhone 12 that I bought, and I just already replaced the screen on it and did a tutorial on it, but I wasn't able to close the screen since it's slightly bent and I didn't want to risk breaking the screen. So today we got a new housing and we're going to be showing you guys how to transfer basically every single component from here to the new one. Now obviously this is going to be a long video, so I'm going to be doing different parts of the video, and yeah, so that it's watchable and entertaining, I guess. Also, you gotta do it step by step, so can't really do everything at once. Alrighty, cool. So without wasting any more time, let's just get to it. So as I said, I didn't put the screen on, so I left it open. If you don't know how to replace or remove iPhone 12 screens, you should take a look at the tutorial that I posted before. But yeah, we're just gonna take it from there. So we're just gonna need our screwdrivers, and we start loosening stuff up. Now, a very important thing with this process is making sure you don't lose the screws. Remember where each piece goes, and kind of storing them and putting them in order, basically. So yeah, we just got that piece off. We have to disconnect the battery. Remember, you never want to disconnect the battery with anything metallic, so you just use this plastic spudger or something like that, get it loose, and everything else you can just use whatever you find comfortable to get things off with. I like to use a tweezer because to me it's the safest way. So yeah, we'll get those cables loose, and then we got, let's put that away, a couple more here. That's one. And that's two. Three. And the last one, which I think is a little bit longer than the rest. So you should just place them the way you take them out, basically. So I'll just show you what I do, just in a different spot. So I just keep order of the pieces that I took off. So I got this piece, I took this one off, which was the longest one, so I place it right there, just like this. Well, the other three are just the same, so you can mix them up, as long as you make sure you remember that the long one is that one. So yeah, that's how I just kind of store it away right there. I just grab this, make sure that one is the top one, and the other three don't really matter. The same with this piece, both of them are the same size, so I just get them there, and we're good to go. And we can continue with the rest. So yeah, once you disconnected those two cables over there that I showed you in the screen replacement tutorial, we just disconnect the Face ID and the loudspeaker module, and this piece can go and wait somewhere safe. Now, there are 1,000 ways to do this, but I like to start from the bottom up. That's just a personal preference. You can do whichever way you like, honestly. But yeah, let's just get to it. So here we got a couple screws over here and a couple over there. First, before anything, because I always forget if I don't do it at the very beginning, let me just see where it is. I can't even find it. That's if I didn't lose it. Looks like I might have, actually. We need to remove the SIM card. And right now I'm looking for my SIM card tray remover. Well, that's a bummer. I'm not sure where I placed it from the last tutorial. video that I did, but hey, we'll just have to move on, I guess. We'll do that later. I'll figure something else out. And yeah, so we just get our screwdriver. Here we have a couple different screws. One like that, so you just keep them in the order that you remove them. I'll place it there so that you guys can see. See, that piece already starts moving up by itself. So yeah, that's the lower loudspeaker. You can just put it somewhere else with its order of the screws, obviously. That way you don't ever risk anything or placing something that doesn't belong somewhere. So yeah, there we go. We got that piece off. Now we can continue with the rest. Right here we got this other special screwdriver. We just put that, let me make sure this camera is focused on the phone, right there. So we just remove that one, place it there. Well, I'm placing it there so that you guys can see it, but yeah. I must admit, it's pretty complicated to record and do repair videos. So that's really also why I kind of got to this repair nice and early, because I want to have different angles in order to be able to at least repair in peace. So yeah, well, I'm loosening that piece, but I guess we should really be worrying about loosening this other one. Lost the screw right there. Okay, this piece, I haven't done this in a while. This piece right there, the flex cable, is right underneath that. So what you first got to do is quickly remove those before you pull on anything else. There we go. You can get your plastic spudger or whatever you want disconnected, and now it should be loose. Okay, the thing is, it's stuck underneath the SIM card tray because there's another screw right there. So whatever we do, we gotta remove the SIM card tray first, which is terrible since I don't know if I have another one laying around anywhere. The worst part is I used to have a bunch of these. Oh, it's right here underneath. I found it. Never mind. So yeah, we just remove the SIM card tray. Get rid of it. Now we can remove the SIM card module, which is probably connected to the motherboard, and we're not going to be able to remove it. Yep. My screws are not exactly, my screwdriver, I mean, is not exactly very magnetic, so let me just make sure, because I keep losing all the screws. No, I got stuck there. Well, we can get it later, I guess. Now we just get this thing loose. And that already disconnected the SIM card tray, I think. Because it does have two connectors right there. Let me see if I can get it to focus right there. One already disconnected when I pulled on that, and the other I'm about to disconnect. if I can at least. So yeah, it's normally not good to have these things stuck there. So let me see if I can show you guys what I'm doing actually. Otherwise there's no point in me recording. So yeah, since it's stuck there, I'm trying to get it loose, and it doesn't want to. So I can get something a little thinner, like the surgical blade, and just like that, we have it loose. Gotta be careful with these things because you don't want to accidentally cut anything. But yeah, that's how we get that piece loose. Hopefully we can get our hands on that screw now. There we go. And just like that, we should be able to remove the SIM card tray. One more piece left right over here. Let me make sure I have the correct screwdriver. This one. And now this piece should just come up. Just like that. There you go. And you can place it somewhere where you're not going to lose it. With the order of the screws. There we go. We can loosen this one. And we have the vibrating engine off as well. So yeah, it's pretty simple, as you guys can see, as long as you really just track what you're doing. And yeah, the only way to really track anything is to keep them close to each other. So that's what I'm doing, organizing them real quick. SIM card tray over there. We don't need this tool anymore. Alrighty. Next, we can continue with removing this cable, maybe even this piece over here. Let me right there. So yeah, we got a couple more screws. Let me show you guys. You got one right over there, one right over there, and there are two right here, one here, and another one over there. It's one of those weird ones. And then we should be pretty loose. So let's see, what's this piece holding? You can just pry up gently. It's like that kind of, I think this is the gyroscope or whatever that thing is called. And yeah, so you just want to be careful with that before you proceed with removing the rest. Actually, we can go ahead and remove the motherboard, I guess, because we are gonna need to be able to take this bottom piece even off. We need the motherboard to be off. So yeah, let's just quickly disconnect everything, all the cables from all the way over here. And I mean, hey, you don't really have to do everything the way I do it. As I said, as long as you're tracking where you're putting everything and you remember the order of things, you should be good to go. So yeah, maybe I will just start removing the cameras and everything right away. Yeah, why don't we just do that right away? Let's get the screwdriver. You can also just take a look at the screws, see which one is long, which one isn't long, so you don't make any mistakes later on. But hey, that's an option. And that one, of course, is a different screwdriver and screw. Now that we got everything off, we can just get that shield off right there. Can store that. And then we need to remove the cameras. So we just disconnect the ribbon cable. There we go. And then we should be able to just push up on the camera from the side and it just pops off. As easy as that, as you guys can see. And that right there is our camera. Now, to store the camera, I like to use some of these cloths that you can buy. They're really normally used for cleaning, like flux off of the motherboard or something like that. But hey, I just put it in there and you have nothing to lose. That way you don't risk it getting dusty or anything like that. So yeah, let me just place it there correctly and cover it up. And then we can proceed with the other camera, the front facing one. So yeah, they're right underneath there. So you just come in there with your plastic spudger or whatever you're really comfortable with. As long as you don't damage anything, you're good to go. And let's see if there's anything holding this in place. I don't think so, but there is a trick to it. It just slides in here. So you just kind of have to slide it down and it will come up. I hope, at least. Let me see what's holding it back. I'm not sure if there's some kind of a trick here. I haven't done this in a while, as I said. Okay, it's just glued onto the other connector. So, as you guys can tell, this is the camera units, and there's that fourth one that shouldn't be with that one, so they're just connected together. It's another cable that we can't get loose for now, because we'll need to further unscrew stuff. So, we just have to gently pull them apart, and we have our cameras loose. They really didn't want to let go. So yeah, and I just use another cloth to store this one. Just like that. And we're good to go. Right, so we got the cameras off. We can put these screws away. Just like that. Let's make sure everything else is disconnected. Oh, I remember this piece. It's very annoying. I'll show you guys how I do it now. There are a lot of ways to do it again, but as you guys can tell, there's a piece that comes from there all the way here, which is connected to this piece. And that is this cable. So you just have to gently get underneath it with the plastic spudger and just pull up. Let me see if there is a way to just separate those, because that one is just a graphite shield or whatever that is for heat dissipation. I really don't want to be dealing with that right now. So let me see if this piece just comes off on its own without having to deal with that shield. And maybe not. So hey, if it's being annoying, what you can do is just heat it up or just get some alcohol on it, or rather underneath it. You get your plastic spudger wet in the isopropyl alcohol and you just do that. Remember, this is just a shield for heat dissipation, so really doesn't even really need to be there. I mean, it is helpful, so don't throw it away. But what you really care for is the cable. As long as you don't rip that one, it should be good to go. You have to be kind of extremely careful not to rip anything, because it is glued on pretty tight as well. And just like that, we're loose. Pretty sure that's one of the, what was it called? The button connectors? I'm pretty sure, I don't remember it properly. It's been a while, but yeah, that's kind of how you do it. You just pull on this one without moving that piece over there, so you can just hold it still, and then with the plastic spudger or whatever, yes, and then you can just stick it back on. Cool. Now that we got that loose, we can get the motherboard out, which is pretty easy. You got one screw right there. Let me show you. So one screw over there, one over there, and one over there. Only 3. So that makes our lives a lot easier. You can order them again, just like that. And then that one is a special one. Oh, and there is one more right over there. Now the motherboard should be pretty loose, so we just move all the ribbon cables away from it and see if we can just lift it up and out. Let's see. If you just gently pull back on that. There we go. This thing is sticking on it again. Sorry. Pretty sure you didn't see half of the things I did, but I'm really just pulling up, doing nothing else. Just making sure everything is out of the way. And just like that, we got our board loose. You want to make sure this is somewhere nice and safe. Right over there, better. And you're most of the way through, really. I mean, the rest is just minor details and stuff like that that are important, of course, but yeah, this is most of it, honestly. So yeah, now we can proceed to taking out what is this piece right over here. And that's basically all the process you would also have to do if you ever wanted to replace the charging connector of an iPhone 12. Because if for some reason one day you cannot charge it because you damaged the port or whatever, that's the whole process. You would have to remove the motherboard, remove all these cables over there. Well, you could technically remove the motherboard without taking all of that apart, but especially the lower part, you have to get it all off. So yeah, let's continue. So we need to remove these 2 screws over here. Let me see where that screwdriver is, right here. Oh my gosh, let me focus it up. There we go. So we just, goodness gracious, hello. There we go, we got that piece. This piece. We'll just right away remove that one as well. And this one over here. Yeah, just place them over there. Let's see what else we're missing. We have one over here. One on the side. I need to find better angles. I'm really not good at recording videos. Just have to really put some more time into it and research it, but soon, I promise. We got one screw right there on the side. If you didn't see, that was that one over there that I showed you before, right there, it's hidden. And then there is one more right over there. That is a different screwdriver again, and a different screw. So that's really one of the most complicated things as well when it comes to doing all of this, is the order of the screws, because one doesn't fit in the other one sometimes, and this even comes with an extra piece on it. I'm not sure if you guys can see. Let me see. Let me loosen the focus. And right there, sorry. Right there, just like that screw that comes with that piece. So you have to keep track of all of that, which is extremely annoying, but hey, nothing that can't be done. Let me just make sure I'm placing them in the right place. And yeah, that's most of that. So yeah, now this is pretty loose. The only thing basically holding this in is glue and two more screws that are right underneath here. Let me show you. Let me get that out of the way. There is one right over there and right over here, which is like the charging port one, I guess. So that's the last two screws that we need to remove. And there we go. I'll just place those over there. And that brings our charging port pretty much off. And there is one more right over there, now that I'm seeing it. Right there. Let me see if I can focus. Right over there. So we have to get that little bugger out as well. And yeah, now we can use this plastic spudger to get everything loose. You just have to insert them behind it and gently pull. And yeah, as you guys can tell, it's coming loose. So we can see if we can do it without any alcohol, and if not, you just apply a little bit and keep on moving just like that. So that isn't the case with us, so let's just, it's not coming off loose. It's the first time that it's ever been taken apart as well, so it's always more complicated. You just get a little bit underneath and a little bit on top. Remember, this doesn't ever damage the phone, so really you can apply as much as you want, but you don't need to go overboard either. So yeah, let me make sure that this piece comes off. It does, and that's the piece we actually have to take apart first as well, because otherwise it's not going to let us take the charging flex apart. And this can sometimes be tricky, and you have to apply some hot air actually. So let me see if it can be done without it. I'm just pulling up on it basically. excuse me, just 1 second. Let me take a closer look to see how it's exactly glued on. Okay, I see. So what we need to do is to get this microphone off, which is connected to the charging flex cable, I think, and then we can remove that other piece. So let me see if we can get it loose. It's that microphone that I'm just pulling on, basically. If it doesn't want to, just a little bit of alcohol, because it does have a bit of adhesive there, so it's kind of meant to stay in place. Just like that, we get underneath it and we fold it outwards, and then this piece should just come off. You probably need more light for you guys to be able to properly see it, but that's just that piece that was right over there. So what we needed to do is just this piece together with the microphone. We have to fold it back. The microphone was stuck right over there, which is where you have to place it again later, right there. So we were just prying up on that and pulling up a little bit so that it comes off. And now we can proceed with the rest. Let's make sure this part is loose, just like that. Let me see. This piece should be pretty loose, but it isn't. So I'm taking a look to see if there's anything I'm missing here, but I don't think so. There we go. You just put it there and it comes pretty loose. And now it's being held back by this little piece over here. It's another microphone. We just apply a little more alcohol right over there. And gently pry up. And that gets us our charging flex connector. So yeah, that's pretty much half of the work, I would say, because later we have some more tricky stuff, and that's half of the work of really just taking everything out, because later you have to put everything back in, which is time consuming as well. But hey, for the most part, we're done halfway taking everything apart. So yeah, I'm only going to be doing a video on how to take everything apart, because otherwise I'm going to have to record 4 different videos, 2 on how to take everything apart and 2 on how to put everything back in. And I guess I'm assuming if you take a look at how you disassemble, you can also go back and rewatch the video and see how it was before it was disassembled and just put everything the way it was. So yeah, we'll just wrap it up over here, and this will be part 1 of the video, and I'll record part 2 soon and I'll upload it as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.